Chapter 4. How plants grow. We eat fruits. Some fruits have seeds, some fruit have only one seed, and some have no seed at all. The seeds of different fruits have different shapes and sizes. Most plants produce many flowers that turn it into fruits. They have seeds in them. But all seeds do not produce new plants. Some seeds are not fully developed, so they cannot grow into a new plant. Some seeds have some diseases or defect in them. Some seeds are eaten by birds or destroyed by insects and other animals. So, only fully grown, healthy, intact seeds grow as a new plant. Seed structure. A bean seed is a typical example of seed. It has three main parts: embryo, cotyledons, and seed coat. Embryo. Embryo is the baby plant which grows into a seedling in the presence of favorable condition. Cotyledons. Cotyledons are the fleshy part of the seed that provide nourishment to the young plant until it is capable of making its own food. They are also known as seed leaves. Seeds with no seed leaves are called dicot seed. Seed coat. Seed coat is a protective covering around the seed. It bursts open on absorbing water and allows the seed to germinate. Seed germination. Germination is the change of a seed into a seedling under a suitable conditions. A seed needs warmth, water, and air in order to germinate. A tiny hole called micropyle allows the seed to absorb water. The water absorbed by the seed dissolves the food in the cotyledons and make it available to the embryo. The food is used for release of energy in the presence of water. A small root called reticle comes out of the germinating seed and grows downward. It later grows into the root system of the new plant. The plumule. A small shoot develops into the stem leaves. Once green leaves are formed, the young plant becomes a seedling. Now it can carry out photosynthesis to prepare its own food. Dispersal of seeds. Plants are fixed to the ground and cannot move from one place to another. If all baby plants grow near the parent plant, not all would survive. They would not get enough sunlight, food, water, and space to grow. Hence, there are some agents in nature to scatter these seeds. These agents carry the seeds or fruits away from their parent plant. This process is called dispersal. Agents of dispersal. Dispersal is carried out by the wind, water, animals, and by the explosion of fruits. The special structure of certain seeds and fruits help these seeds in dispersal. Wind. Seeds of cotton, madder, and hiptych are light and have hair or wings, so they can be easily carried by the wind. Water. The lotus fruit has a spongy part and the coconut has a fibrous outer covering to enable them to float on water. Animals. Human beings and animals eat fruits like cherries and mangoes and throw away their seeds. Some seeds have hooks or spines. They get stuck to the hairy skin of animals and are carried away. Birds swallow some seeds which came out of unchanged in their droppings. Explosion. Some fruits like peas in a pod burst open or explode when dry. The force of explosion helps to scatter the seeds. New plants from other parts of plants. Besides growing from seeds, new plants also grow from certain other parts such as roots, stem, and leaves of the parent plant. Some plants like the rose, sugarcane, and hibiscus grow from the stem cutting. The potato is a stump that grows underground and has buds called eye. Any part of a potato that has buds on it can grow into a new plant. Onion and ginger are also underground stems from which new plants grow. Sweet potatoes and carrots are examples of plants whose roots can grow into new plants. The leaves of plants like borophyllum can grow into a new plant. Agriculture. The cultivation of soil to produce crops and raise livestock is known as agriculture. The plants grow on a large scale in agricultural fields are called crops. Usually, one type of crop is grown at a time. The piece of a land on which the crops grow is called a farm. The person who practices agriculture as profession is called farmer. Following are the steps undertaken to perform agriculture. 1. Ploughing. The soil to be cultivated is first prepared by loosening it up and bringing nutrients-rich layer to the surface. Plogging also aerates the soil and allows easy perennation of roots for fixation. Second, fertilizing. Once the soil is plogged, fertilizers and manures are added to the soil to enhance the availability of nutrients to the plants. This helps in increasing the yield. Urea and superphosphate are examples of chemical fertilizers. Green manure and compost are organic fertilizers. 3. Sowing. Seeds that are sown must be healthy and disease-free to ensure a good produce. Care should be taken to plant them at a proper distance. 4. Irrigation. The growing crops are watered by natural or artificial means. Agriculture in India is largely monsoon dependent. However, canals and tube wells have also gained importance as the means of artificial irrigation. 5. Crop protection. The standing crops need to be protected against pests, insects, and weeds. Weeds are the unwanted plants which hinder the growth of a crop. They have to be removed manually. Pests and insects are the organisms that damage crops. Pesticides and insecticides are sprayed in a controlled manner to prevent them from spreading. 6. Harvesting. Crops are collected from the fields when they are ripe. The process of cutting and collecting ripened crops is called harvesting. It marks the end of one cultivation cycle. 7. Storage. The collected crops are stored in a clean and a dry condition until they are used or sold. They need to be protected from rodents and insects. 8. Terrace farming. Terrace farming is the practice of growing crops on sloping lands cut down in the form of steps. It is commonly in the hilly region. The cultivation of crops in India is divided into two main seasons. Kharif seasons last from July to October, in which crops like rice, maize, millets, pulses, etc. are grown. Rabi season falls between October and March and is suitable for growing wheat, barley, mustard, etc.